Hello everyone and welcome to the Bound for Bendigo Victorian Men's League Exhibition match. It's our first match up here today, this hot Saturday here in Bendigo. My name is Chelsea Ryan and with me I have Dan Cook, who's been a representative of Australia for men's netball. Welcome, Dan.
Thanks for having me. It's great to be here. Great to showcase some men's netball.
Absolutely, and we've had a bit of a morning already. There's been clinics outside and all the boys that are on the court warming up have been helping out in the morning with Netball Victoria putting on some amazing Melbourne Vixens roadshow clinics. So it's awesome to be here. The community's out here already. We don't have doors open just yet. We're warming up, but it will be a matter of time before that happens. Now, on behalf of Netball Victoria and the Melbourne Vixens, we would like to acknowledge the Dja Dja Wurrung and Tawarong peoples as the traditional owners of the lands on which we are today and pay our respects to elders past, present and future. Now, this weekend and all these matches wouldn't be possible without the Victorian government's support, along with McCafe and the city of Greater Bendigo. Dan, how was the drive down to Bendigo? You're from Melbourne, yep?
Yeah, I am from Melbourne. It was pretty easy, actually. It was a nice, solid 2-hour car trip, and we're here ready to go. So it's nice to see the weather's a little bit hotter here today than it is in Melbourne.
I know.
Getting the sweaty palms out, but yeah, it's not too hot inside. I think the boys will be able to cope with it. The girls will be able to cope with it later, so shouldn't be too much of an issue.
And so on the right-hand side of our screen, we have our reserves team. And on the left-hand side, we have our under-23s. So the match will be starting in about 5 minutes. We're going to be reading out the starting list once it gets sent up to us, and our crowd will come on in. But Dan, what are you looking forward to today's match with?
Always when the 23s and the reserves play, usually it's a really tough battle, and they see it underpinning that open men's team. So they're really looking to push themselves for selection in future years in those teams that are the top tier team of men's netball in Victoria. But usually it's a really tough, close battle. It tends to stay pretty tight. I'm excited. The young 23s always like to try and get a win over the reserves for sure. It's always a tough. You're out there for that win, really.
Yeah.
It's on the line. It's the one game you want to win out of the whole season, other than nationals. So
we love it. We love an uprising of the underdogs.
That's right.
Though, so.
But it's their chance to show off. Lots of the 23s are going to have a whole heap of speed to burn, and it's great to see, and they're still honing their craft in how they can use that speed effectively on a netball court. The reserves, however, they're slightly older, usually have the ability to kind of slow themselves down, run the pace that they need to run. So it'll be interesting to see how today's battle goes and whether the reserves can get on top that way.
And tell us a little bit about where is men's netball sitting in their season and in preparation for, Oz Champs?
Yeah, so men's netball is just about to wrap up its M-League's season, which is really the equivalent of our state league. It's like our VNL. So that is wrapping up. Grand final is this Wednesday night, coming between City Heat and Net Blacks, and that'll be a tight game. And also these guys, they're preparing for their national championships, which is held at Easter every year. So that's in April. It's about 2 months away or so, and they'll be looking to fine hone their crafts and their skills so that each of the athletes will probably want to put the best out there now, because now's when the coaching is starting to find their top tier lineups and how they're going to run internationals.
Yeah, and looking at, our top players here, who's, a couple that have caught your interest in our under-23s that are on the screen at the moment?
The under-23s, I'm really looking forward to seeing their goaling circle. Ethan Spiteri, I think, is a fantastic goal shooter, along with Connor Lilly, who's coming up through. He's been a part of men's netball for a long time through the junior ranks, and I'm really excited to see how he goes in this 23s group. So that, for me, being a past goaler as well, I'm really excited to see what it is that they can bring to the court. In the reserves team, look, I think the defensive end is going to be interesting in how they match up to that. So I'm really looking forward to seeing how that goes. Funnily enough, working with all three of those guys before that are down in that defensive end, I'm really keen to see how both lineups go down that 23 shooting circle.
Then as they're taking their positions, what about our reserves here? Yeah,
so the reserves, look, it's going to be interesting. The goaling end with Liam and Josh in there, I'm looking forward to that. They both play for our Altona Falcons at M-League, and their combination will be interesting to see how they can go.
And we've just got underway. Our centre pass was with the reserves. And it's a throw in there, a bounce pass over to our tall goal shooter.
Yeah, so that's Liam Kiley in there at the moment in goal shooter. He's going to be looking to find the post often throughout the game.
And so Tristan Commons in the centre just there, looking for the option. Into the pocket it goes. Coming down the baseline, there was the drive. Wasn't the one to open it up. And a deflection there in that shot.
Yeah, comes out of the circle there. Lucky for Tristan Commons that he was not on the circle edge, but it came straight to him. But nice rebound here from the reserves team.
And so coming down the middle of the court.
So I'll go through the starting lineups for each of the teams. The men's reserves team, that's Liam Kiley in goal shooter, Josh Smith in goal attack, Torin Imamarka in at wing attack, Adam Franz at centre. In wing defence is Jake Downbraskis. Goal defence, Simon Cartwright. And in at goalkeeper is Dan King. For the under-23s, we have Ethan Spiteri in at goal attack. In goal shooter. At goal attack is Connor Lilly. Wing attack is Adam Hoogworth. In at centre, Tristan Comans. At wing defence is Riley. Goal defence, Will Urita. And at goalkeeper is Callum Baird.
Getting a little bit of air in that catch just there, Tristan. The bounce pass over. Getting a little bit stuck there. Centre protecting the wing attack out of the circle. And it pass in. Yep, it's still in court. But the reserves have it now. It's been a turnover.
Just really looking for Tristan Comas to hit the circle. It is a new spot for him running in the centre position, but not finding the circle. A fantastic take from Will Urita. Just an offside call here on the under-23s.
And a nice hold at the back there. Little pop over.
Yeah.
Made it look easy, that goal was there.
It does. I think Kylie's able to find that space under the ring really easy at the moment. The reserves team will be looking to take advantage of that throughout the rest of the afternoon.
A bit of a roll on the ground, knees down, still in play. It's the reserves ball. The turnover has occurred. There has been stepping, though, called by the umpire. And a shot for Connor. Bounces out. Turnover for the reserves.
Yeah, great confidence there from Connor Lilly, just able to find some space. And it's great confidence to see him put the ball up from a long distance, even though it didn't go through.
And there is a goal there for the reserves. So yet to score the under-23s. 3-0 at the moment. 4 minutes down, almost in our first quarter. Now we've got 4 10-minute quarters in this exhibition match. Big leap there, the pop over. Stepping in, and that is another goal scored. Tristan in possession, looking for the option. And it is still in the under-23's hands just here. Throw in from the side of the court. But it's been given away, a contact, unfortunately, in the ring there. They wouldn't be too happy with that. It's been in their circle a number of times, but still yet to score. The long bounce pass across the circle. And just the height there for Liam Kelly in goal shooter. Just proving a little bit too much for Callum at the moment in goalkeeper. Trying to man up with that one-on-one defence, but the hand up and over, tapping it. Got the pass. That looked like a pass itself, almost, that goal.
Yeah, and not the most confident or a very confident shot, but it didn't go anywhere near the ring there, unfortunately, for Kylie. But fantastic work on the outside of the circle from the reserves. They are just moving the ball through the court fantastically.
Oh, that was a nice snatch there.
Yeah.
Goal defence, pumping his hands there.
Will Urata is really talented at picking that ball out of the air, and I'm looking forward to seeing what it is that he can bring to this 23s team.
Oh, and that was a 1-2. With then Liam scoring another goal, dominating here in the first few minutes of our first quarter. 5 down, 5 to go. Our reserves 6. Our under-23s yet to score. Just finding a little bit of congestion there in the ring. Really some one-on-one defence by the reserves. Really keeping them out of play. They've got the height too. The rebound, though, It's been secured.
Yeah, I think their arms on the edge of the circle are fantastic for them. They are a well-drilled team, and they have now been together for a few years, even with COVID not being there, and they've really kind of stuck together, and I think that we're seeing the dividends of that play out for them.
And that was another one by Will in the goal defence for our under-17s. He's had a good couple of minutes just now with the intercepts and a couple of deflections already, but really they've got a tough job up against Liam Kelly. Coming down the court just now. Penalty, and it's gone straight into the hands of Josh Smith from the reserves. He is tall, and there's another tall one. They've just got the tall timbers in this
They
team,
do,
don't they?
And that's the great thing about Josh being in goal attack is really he does look like he's a goal shooter, but he can run out at goal attack and through wing attack on occasion as well. So his skill outside the ball skills that he has and some of the other vision that he has really allows him to play out at goal attack and not just sit in the goal shooter role and ask to be a holding shooter. He's really got that at 6'3", 6'4" that he is, can move around in the goal attack space and provides another option for the reserves team.
And they're finally on the scoreboard. Here we go. 1-8 at the moment, or 2-8. Must have missed one in there just a moment ago. Good to see, though. They can gain some momentum from that as well. That would be their goal right now.
Yeah, they haven't had too much of an issue getting the ball down towards the circle edge. It's just about finding a relevant space inside the circle. And I think that once they can start to get their rhythm in there, maybe lose a little bit of nerves as the crowd starts to come in, we might see further goals on the scoreboard.
And Tristan looking for the option, goes back then to Cullum, goalkeeper. Oh, and almost an intercept there by goal defence Simon Cartwright for the reserves. And there's another goal on the board. Good to see for under-23s.
Yeah, good risk-taking from Simon Cartwright just to have a crack at that ball sitting in the press. But the 23s able to bring that ball through the court once the penalty was called. Jake Dambrauskas with great hands there against Adam Hoogworth, and just like to see Adam's drives be a little bit longer. It's a little bit curved for my liking at the moment. I think that plays into the hands of the defenders from the reserves team.
Yeah, we haven't seen too much play from Adam in wing attack for the reserves because, yeah, Jake has just got him covered there. But in centre for the reserves, we have Adam Franz passing it in, and there is another shot, just making it look easy. Liam Kelly, almost a little bit of that 1-2 basketball, pop it in, very casual.
Yeah, sometimes that's what you like out of a goal shooter, is just that when they feel calm in themselves and that there's not this extra rush. I mean, it's fantastic. Dan King, that is fantastic reach over the shot. He's known for that in the world of men's netball and having that great reach over it and a great jump and elevation. He
told me before the game that he was 193 centimetres tall.
Yeah, so look, I'd love to have had that height if I was playing too.
Oh, just a little bit overcooked on that pass just there.
Yeah, nice setup here from the reserves running in their press, really giving the 23 something to think about. They seem unsure and unsteady, and sometimes that's okay when bringing it out of the press.
Little fumble, but they recovered into the pocket, and he wants it back. Both in the same position, unfortunately. The reserve shooters, Ethan and Connor. Sideline throw in. Back to the line, but it wasn't meant to be. The reserves had them covered. Great arms over just there.
Yeah, Riley Owen, great arms over pressure, but Torin Imamaka finds circle edge again. Liam Kiley, easy to find under the post, really.
And so we've got just under a minute to go in our first quarter. The score is 11-4, down by 7, the reserves. They did have a minute in there where they did score those 4 goals, and then the reserves have just tightened it up and, yeah, adding those presses as you mentioned.
Yeah, really nice positioning there from Ethan Spiteri, working Simon Cartwright hard on the body just to allow the space in the back. Unfortunately, not able to finish off with the shot, but it's really good positioning in there from the youngster.
Coming down the right top side of the court channel, hitting the centre circle and shuffling back there. Josh Smith gets the goal.
Yeah, nice and confident from Josh. Really, that's what you want to see out of your goal attack, to be honest. Get in the circle, have the shot.
And he is over in the circle at the moment, calling it for it to come over, but it's Liam. Oh, just didn't have enough oomph in that one. Gets the rebound, pops it through. And that is our first quarter, 13-4 at the moment.
Yeah, what a great start there for the reserves. I think getting their hands to the balls around the circle edge really stopped the ability for the 23s to kind of penetrate into the circle or close to the circle edge, and really caused them some issues throughout the rest of the quarter.
It's looking at just a couple of replays just here. Bit of a tussle off the side of the court, but the reserves moving it quite lovely with a bit more fluid down to the goal circle.
Yeah, I think they're finding some really good space around the circle edge and making it easy for them to find circle, which makes it easy to put the ball into the tall goal shooter fairly quickly. I mean, that's just simple 101 netball, and it's nice to see the reserves playing that way, because sometimes they haven't done so in the past. So for them to be working the ball to circle edge, I think is great for them. Defensively then for the 23s, they want to make sure that they're looking at putting some body pressure on away from the edge of the circle, making sure that it's hard, or the Resi's need to really find then some body pressure, and so that drive is not easy for them to get circle edge. And that ball going into the tall goal shooter in Liam Kiley, I mean, he's been terrific so far. I'd be really happy with what he is that he's put out on court.
And so then looking at the under 23s, identifying that, Liam Kiley has been a bit of a weapon in that circle just there. What would they be changing to push up against him?
Yeah, I don't know whether it's a 2-on-1 matchup. I don't know whether that's a great option there for them. I'd probably look at the body pressure on the outside of the circle and delaying that entry ball, because I don't know that the balls coming in have been perfectly placed. It's just lucky that they've kind of been able to be so close to circle edge. It's actually really quite hard to stop.
And so Liam has been shooting at 78%.
Yeah, 11 from 14, one of those with an air ball. Can't really complain too much about that. Did have a long range. I mean, they're up by 9 goals. So,
and so our goal shooter from the under 23s, that was Ethan
Spiteri. 2 from 7 in that first quarter, which is 29%. So, really probably not the amount, but look, they've had the volume. 17 shots in that first quarter. I don't know that there's much too wrong with that.
And so we're into our second quarter here. For our men's exhibition match. So in the white, just if you're joining us now with our live stream, we have our under 23s, and in the dark colours we have our reserves. And so it's awesome just to have this exhibition match here.
Yeah, it's definitely fantastic to have an exhibition, one in front of people that get the chance to see some men's netball, but it also prepares the teams to go away as well and be under the environment. There's still a crowd watching you, so whenever there's anybody watching it, it just provides that extra little bit of spark for everyone, and showcasing men's netball to the country. There's a rich history of boys from Bendigo especially being able to play, and we've got now one taking the court for the under 23s in wing attack in Will Whiteacre, so that's a fantastic opportunity for him as well.
Yeah, it's really good to see the reserve still taking charge just here, and they've changed it up in goal shooter.
So I'll go through the changes there for us. Like I just spoke about, Will Whiteacre coming on into wing attack for the under 23s. The two defenders at the back have also switched positions in Will Urata and Callum Baird. They've switched over in goal defence and goalkeeper. For the reserves team, Alex Nichols has come on into goal shooter there for Liam Kiley, along with Steve McCallum. Looks like he's come on to wing attack as well. And then Andrew Burgess as well on into goalkeeper, replacing Dan King.
And it's a fairy tale when those outer shots go out. We like seeing shots from long range, but
you've got to make sure that you're actually putting them through the ring when they do it. I mean, it's great to get the rebound, but you've really got to be steady and making sure that you have your rhythm as a goaler to put that ball through.
And is the under 23's ball. Jake just over the top there, getting the contact as wing defence. There's the free player, Tristan, popping it straight in, and it was just taken down by our goalkeeper for our reserves, Dan.
It's changed to Andrew Burgess.
Andrew Burgess.
Yeah, great positioning there from Alex Nichols, just using the triangles effectively. Steve McCallum able to find him really quickly. That ball swung across the top of the circle, and that opened up the space underneath the post.
And so going straight into the ring there. And that looks too easy, actually.
Yeah, just the body pressure from the 23 is probably not strong enough. However, this reserves team, very experienced. Lots of them are pushing for open spots at the moment. So it's something for them to think about, and really a learning experience for the 23s as well in getting the body pressure that these guys bring to the court.
Yeah, how do you teach or coach the guys' body pressure?
I think it comes from repetition. Unfortunately, that ball just going out over the baseline. But it's that repetition of the work from trainings, realistically, that I think is helpful. And that constant playing and expectation from the coaches, actually delivering it, saying it's okay to do it. Putting it out there in match play and not being scared to actually have a few penalties called against you. I think that's the flip side to it. I mean, each umpire is different, so you've got to work out what their boundaries are in the beginning and throughout the match. So if someone is willing to let you give some body pressure, I mean, every goaler hates body pressure coming from, goal attack here, that all I want to do is find space away from them. So, as a defender, teach them body pressure, body pressure, body pressure. Make sure they're aware that you're there, and you can delay their entry, because over the space of 4 quarters, it really has a massive impact.
Definitely. I love the explanation of that. And this is a high-performance environment that they're currently playing in.
It is.
And that was a great turnover there by Jake in wing defence for the reserves.
Yeah, I'm a real big fan of Jake Denbrough, because I think he has some great body pressure around the edge of the circle. He always gets hands to ball, but he always has his eyes up, not just to go backwards, but eyes up to go forwards and to really look at picking balls off. And he's quite valuable to this Victorian team, so I'm looking forward to seeing how he can go, one, throughout the rest of the game, but also at Nationals this year.
And the crowd getting a little vocal there on that one, as well as the players looking for an option. Getting a little bit stuck here. The reserves need some movement, and straight into the goal ring. A little bit of air to protect the space, but no follow through on that one for Ethan. And his percentage of shooting accuracy hasn't been very high. In the first quarter, it was only that 29%.
Yeah, I think it's really hard to also find that range sometimes, when you've had some nerves, and as a goalie, you're just not finding it on the day. It's really hard to sometimes bring it back to.
And this is the pressure that they need to be put under by the circumstances in this environment. A crowd, and a moving crowd. People are still coming into the stadium at the moment, finding their seats. There's lights, there's cameras, there's signage and everything as a little bit of a distraction to keep composed and calm under this pressure. Yeah,
not the easiest thing to have happen, and it just takes a little bit of getting used to. I know, from my playing days as well, when you go out to those bigger courts and there's all those things going on, like even looking up at the ceiling and there's a light in a space that you didn't realise there was a light before, and it gets in the way. So you've got to adjust all of those things and get used to it.
And that was Connor Lilly and Ethan Spiteri working well in the ring just there to score that goal. So 4 minutes to go in our second quarter. The score stands at 20-6.
Yeah, missed shot there from Nichols, but able to tap the ball back in. Josh Smith does find it, but that high shot, unfortunately, just finds the back of the goal ring and slips over the base.
And it's in the reserves' hands now. This is an opportunity for them. They're going to need it, and cross-court was not the way. Jake reading the play and taking that intercept. And so Alec Nichols has come out to pop it back in to Josh Smith. And just not enough for that one. Picking it up, Callum Burrard.
Yeah, 23s really just need to find their range. Fantastic ball in from Connor Lilly, just able to find Ethan Spiteri. Kind of sits in the circle and you don't really realise where he's going, and he just changes direction. That ball can come in from afar, so something for Burgess to kind of look out for. But yeah, fantastic vision there from Connor Lilly. Found some range. It's confidence. It's that one ball that comes into you that makes it really easy to find, and it's fantastic to see from Ethan that he's able to kind of trust his instincts and put the shot up.
And there's been a change just here in the reserves circle. Liam Kelly has come back into goal shooter. Just didn't quite get hands on that ball just there. But lots of energy coming from Callum Barrell.
Yeah, interesting option there from Josh Smith to flick it off the post. Not sure that it's 100% amazing netball. Fantastic movement from the under-23s. Connor Lilly's drive along the baseline, just opening up the space would be what I'd want to be asking of Craig Moore to see out of him. So, that was a fantastic option there from the young kid.
And yeah, that was a quick, clean play as well. The reserves were a step behind that one.
Yeah, that's right. Taking a chance and taking a risk, especially when you're down by this margin, is just seeing if you can get the team back into it somehow and taking charge, which he's just done again now. Running that penalty quickly, stepping up in the space and saying, come on, let's go team, we need to score the goals.
And that's Josh Smith with that one just there. And hitting that circle, driving it in, pulling it close. And just... yeah, the space that the guys can cover, it's impressive.
It's a different type of netball at times. There's some real short, sharp stuff that happens outside, or the ball just skips all of it and goes long. And sometimes that's really hard to work out or read what it is. But some of the boys come from a different background. It's not just always been netball. And some of the boys come from playing netball as a 5-year-old kid, so they've got this real big background of playing short and sharp. So when you can merge the styles together, it gives you a fantastic style of play.
Yeah, I was chatting to a couple of the boys out the front a little earlier, and they said they've come from all different sporting backgrounds, some from basketball, some from footy, but really that they love the team of netball and what it provides them as a community. They said they've got a lot of banter in the reserves.
There's definitely a lot, like every team has banter. That week away at Nationals or the time prior is fantastic and does do exactly that. There's always a lot of banter in the men's netball teams for sure. So that is something that has been a staple just and a part of our culture, and we all seem to love it as well. It's really a reason to come. There's this social vibe to it, and it's great to see that continues on.
To 11, the reserves are leading by 13 goals at the moment, so they've just increased that, but I would still say the 23s upped their game in that quarter. Yeah,
I definitely have to agree with you. I think they were able to find circle edge. They were more definitive with their options and how they released the ball and where they were putting it to. I think that was a better go at it from them, and the reserves probably didn't take advantage of their hands over pressure as much in that quarter. So, and they seem to let balls go loosely over the course of bringing the ball through the court. It's not something that they did in the first quarter, but unfortunately in the second, probably letting some loose balls go through the middle.
And we look forward to them climbing back up as the underdogs in this match. We're going to a 2-minute break. We'll see you back very shortly for our second half.
Are you ready for a career in sport? To make your mark on the industry? To science.
Ball coach. Orange cutter. Artistic. Proud partners of Netball Australia. We want to thank Colin for going above and beyond each year for Netball Australia. Common care.
When you're in I deserve a little treat. You need it deluxe. Vanilla or caramel. Make your deluxe coffee.
Is ready. Ready to go above and beyond. We call it the rocky roads of hello to an incredible feat. With incredible cars. It's time to mispronounce our name and get out on the open road. In
not too far open spaces are calling. To drink the makeup, dine at the door. Are you ready? Stay close. Go.
Welcome back to our Victorians exhibition match. We have the reserve in dark shirts and our under 23s the white. Chelsea and Dan Cook with us today. And Dan, we're into the second.
Going really in that second quarter after the first quarter. So, I'd be happy if the 23s in work that they put in that quarter just maintain into I think they needed to.
And just there. Well done to Ethan Spiteri. He's got the vertical leap there.
Yeah, for sure. He definitely does, and I know he wants to make his way out into the middle of the court as he moves through the ranks of men's netball. But he can certainly show that he can jump with the best of them.
And so back down the under 23s. And just here now, goalkeeper is out of the circle. And that is a beautiful shot.
Yeah, lovely shot from the hometown boy. Really, Will Whiteacre, and that's a fantastic, confident shot from the youngster. He is actually in the under 20, not in the under 23s. He's in the under 17s for Victoria. So getting out here in front of his home crowd, I'm really proud that he's able to put that ball up with some confidence as well.
And I just love there was a big cheer from the crowd as well, and that's what it's about. We've come to support our netballers. And so he's come out of the circle just there, Will. Great vision, passing it back to Ethan. Let's see. And it is a goal.
Yeah, but the work from him probably shouldn't go unnoticed. That ball swung across the circle purely because he took the ball on that far side of the court, swung the ball across, took the drive, drew the defenders, left Spiteri open under the post.
And so taking their time to find the option, moving back, using the defenders. Across the other side of the circle.
There's better flow from the under 23s in this quarter. Whilst the missed shot there from Spiteri, it seems like they're able to find circle edge a little easier, and that's making the ball into the circle really just work for them.
Liam with the grab just there. He does well with holding his player in front of him.
Yeah, he's a tall boy. There's definitely some height on him, and that's always hard to be able to stop as a goaler. And we can see the ball just goes straight over the top from Adam Franz. He's a great feeder. He's got great ball skills, and it's hard to stop there for the 23s.
And a fun fact: so Adam and then Andrew in goalkeeper. So Adam in centre for the reserves in dark, and then also Andrew went to high school together.
Wow, that is an interesting fact. It's probably how Andrew made his way out to play. They also played in my 23s the last time I coached for Victoria as well. So they're teammates from a long time ago.
And it's good. It's good to have that connection. That connection on the court really counts. It's almost like having that sixth sense sometimes with your player, with your teammate, and also with the ball. It all adds up.
Yeah, it definitely helps, and you can kind of see that in some of the reserves as they move through the ranks as well. Lots of them have played in the under 23s together, and once they make their transition, they actually have got a lot of team environment already built into them, and they join the next group up, and they've already got their team. So it really kind of just bolsters everything.
And yeah, so they know all their strengths, but they also know all of their weaknesses.
Correct.
As well. And so it's the reserves ball, and there has been a penalty pushing up.
Yeah, so that was on Zach Gillian there in at wing defence.
And a bit of confusion.
Asking him to step aside. I think, or maybe a reset of the bibs.
Another reset. I mean, it wouldn't be netball without a bib on the ground, right?
I mean, It is warm. I'm going to let them have that one. You see Josh Smith enter the court there now as well in at goal shooter to replace Liam Kiley, and I think that's a nice little change. Let's see what he can do in goal shooter as well. He can set himself up on the lead, but also sets himself up on the hold, which is great for him.
So coming out of the circle, Will.
Yeah, Whiteacre's got some moves in at goal attack. I feel like he's opened up the space really well for the under-23s team, and he's also confident on the shot. That's only going to get better. Hopefully he doesn't feel any negativity out of that. Shooting over Dan King is no easy feat.
No, as proven, just
for sure. And you know, like I said, you don't go into a netball game and you throw the ball into the opposition and you don't change how you throw the ball the next time. And that's the same thing for a goaler. Make sure when it's happened 4 or 5 times, maybe that's the time to start thinking about it. When it's happened once, treat the defender as having a really great shot.
A bit of speed coming down the court just here. Let's keep that momentum going, and it's just paused for a second.
Little scrappy there down the 23s end, unfortunately, and now the reserves team just kind of having a really good flow and calmness through the court.
Well, it really stopped down that end when it came to the goalkeeper and the goal shooter. Andrew Burgess is really holding up against Ethan in that position.
Yeah, I have to agree with you there as well, and I think that that's Andrew Burgess' strength is kind of like blocking space, and for Ethan, he's trying to find and create the space. So I think not probably the best matchup for him, but yeah, we'll see how it goes. But I think, yeah, Ethan Spiteri's maybe got to look at creating some space more effectively. We saw him in the last quarter with kind of Lily kind of just use that strong drive along the base and find himself open. So I'd be looking to change over into that type of play.
And a rebound just there for the reserves. Oh, beautifully deflected. Going back again, Tristan looking for an option. They want someone moving forward towards the ball here. Bit of one-on-one contact and defence with the play. Just here the reserves definitely turning up the heat. Will bringing that ball out of that circle space and providing an option. The drive along the baseline, they ended up in the same space. And it wouldn't have mattered if they had scored the goal.
Yeah, but I think it's great patience to work the ball to the circle edge, but they've probably got to play that ball around a little bit more. Maybe Ethan needs to look at setting himself up and working with the goal attack, because I think that's the goal attack drive more effectively instead of Ethan Spiteri coming so far away from that post. And I think that will help the team and help them to settle.
And so looking at the score at the moment, under 2 minutes to go in our third quarter. Open reserves at 30 and our under-23s at 16. So they've increased their score, but their shooting accuracy hasn't been high up there, I don't think, Dan. What would your comments be on that?
Yeah, I think their shooting accuracy, look, it's not great. Look, that can come down to nerves. It was probably not a great first quarter, but they've kind of built into the rest of the game. There's probably only been 15 minutes since they've started to find their range. But I really think the work on the outside of the circle has helped them find a better space. I'd like to see, Ethan Spiteri, unfortunately, their hands on the edge of the circle. That's been a thing for the reserves throughout today's game. But Comans, look, he's a great reader of the ball, and that's exciting for him to see. For us to see, he reads the game so beautifully, especially coming down the court. And so I'm so glad that he came out and took that ball then.
He's been standing out in defence this quarter.
Yeah, I think he's quite steady. He's able to get the high ball and he's able to hunt the ball coming forward as well. And that's not always something you get out of a defender. Usually they're strong in one or the other, or stronger in one or the other. They find it harder on the back ball or harder on the front ball. So it's great to see him actually have a go at both of those.
Well, yeah, once you hunt, you can get punished. If you miss it, then it can go straight to that goal circle and boom, there's that goal. And speaking of goal, there's another one there for the reserves, 31-16, 20 seconds left in our third quarter. A bit of a deflection just there from Kingy in goal defence for the reserves. They're just trying to do that work outside the circle. Will coming back out. Beautiful pass. Bit of a jump shot. Oh, it would have been nice if he had got it.
Yeah, unfortunately not a settled shot there. Not a lot of time left on the clock and not able to score the goal, but Great work there from the 23s. I think the 23s had a solid quarter, maybe not as strong, but it wasn't a high scoring quarter. This one, we're looking at 7 goals to 5. So, something there for maybe both teams to think about in regards to it is how do they get the ball to circle edge and how do they effectively find great spots in the circle to have good, steady shots on goal. Because both teams probably didn't have the greatest effect in finding space under the ring. However, opposite said, defensively, both teams kind of did a good job in keeping everyone away from that goalpost.
And so looking at our replays up on the board just here, finding space there. And that was a nice shot. And so, Dan, what are your thoughts on with our defenders and jumping in front of our goalers?
Yeah, look, if you're in that 3 feet space, do whatever you like. Really, that's kind of the rules of the game. You've got to do as much as you can. I sometimes think that defenders in our game get called for too much. I'd like to see a lot more let go, which is really strange coming as a goaler myself. I'd really like to see the defenders being able to contest more. I know how much goalers do to defenders in general, and I think they're sometimes a bit ticky touch would.
Well, we want to keep our defence exciting, right? We want it to be entertaining and creative.
That's right. We want, and that comes from the ability to let them contest, let them have a go at the ball. If that ball's going to come out, if it's safety that's the issue, then that's okay. But I don't necessarily know that sometimes that's the case, and we're a little bit too focused on someone getting or doing something that I don't necessarily know is interference in what it is that's going on. And a defender's got to be allowed to attack the ball and go after the ball and stop someone from going after the ball as well. So, body pressure, I'd love to see that step up as well. Have a hunt at the ball, take some risks.
Well, let's see if our under-23s take a risk in this final quarter. 10 minutes to go, and this is our exhibition match. It's in the hands. The centre pass is with our reserves, and they've popped Liam Kelly back into goal shooter.
Yeah, look, that's just a great setup there from the reserves as well. Torin Iwamaka's now in a goal attack with Josh Smith out to wing attack, and just the vision into the circle to see that there's no one in the way. Let's just put the ball straight through the middle of the court and find the space. And
so a great pass just there.
Yeah, well, I think he's going to call that a shot. I think in his own head he thinks that was a shot. So, but yeah, it's great to see him confident with that as well. Get the ball on the outside circle, get it back in the inside, turn around and put that ball up.
And follow through. That's what it needs to be. And so this has been an exciting match to have. More of our crowd is building as our afternoon comes on too. What do you think?
New momentum and making sure the ball there. 2 or 3 goals in each of the quarters. So there's not much to change. You've just got to make sure that you're steady with the ball and the ball delivery, bringing the ball through the court. I'd like to see a few more risks in defence and taking charge, and maybe a little bit of body pressure as well from the 23s, just on the outside of the circle, stopping the easy flow that the reserves have had coming through the court.
And Connor Lilly passing it over to Will, getting the goal just there, our homegrown hero from Bendigo.
Yeah.
Good to see. And driving out to that centre pass, handing it back in. Adam coming back.
Great work there from Iwamaka and just playing around with the ball while he still kind of moves forward on the court. And look, fantastic little offload into Liam Kiley.
And so down the under 13s. They're definitely not under 13s. It's skipping 10 years off their age there. They might use some great night cream, who knows. But it was down their end, intercepted by our reserves. Coming back, Liam Kelly in the ring with that goal just there. We have Turan also in goal attack for our reserves. The ball is still theirs.
Yeah, Iwamaka's a fantastic kind of creative space, and whilst he's fairly small in a goal attack, he does open up the court really well, and is able to get the ball through, and almost works in conjunction with having a tall wing attack with him in goal attack because he just draws every defender. The good thing about having sometimes a shorter goal attack with that tall goaler is that as a defender, you have to make a decision whether you're going to go to the goal attack, leaving the tall goaler not in a 2-on-1.
And it's Kingy's ball just there. You know what? Just to get into that goal circle, that took 4 passes.
Yeah, it's nice and quick. The timing of this reserves team is fantastic. Alexi McConnell really drills them quite hard in getting the ball through the court quickly. And they've had a few years to work on it. This team's the core has been together for a while now as well, through COVID and then through the first national champs post-COVID last year. So, there's lots of this team that have had a lot of time together now. So that's, definitely helpful to them and their familiarity.
And they say they're really motivated, that they're spewing a little bit from their loss to New South Wales last year at Champs.
Yeah, definitely. I think both the under-23s and the reserves will be a little bit stinging from losing the national champs last year. There's a rich history of in men's netball of winning, really, in Victoria. And, the Opens haven't won since 2016. The reserves and 23s both lost last year, but have a real big, like I said, rich history in taking out national champs. So to lose all 3 of those in the grand final, I think there's a little bit of revenge that all of our teams will be looking to have through the top age groups and the senior ages.
You know what? We love a little bit of revenge, don't we? We look forward to seeing that play out. And what better way to then, have this match and experience in front of all these people here at Bendigo. And that was a nice shot just there.
Connor Lilly, nice little step back. Clearing some space, really good option there with the tall defenders in front of you. And it's nice to see him put the ball through the ring.
And so, as a shorter shooter yourself, Dan, what would be your tips for the shorter shooters out in our goal circles?
For shorter shooters out there, be steady, trust your shot, don't change it for anything, know what it is and how it works for you. Learn to step back. And what one works for you. Some goalers like a rock back and some people like to step back and stay steady. So, knowing your skills and what works for you, always get in front.
Yes, you do not want to be behind a tall defender, that's for sure.
Don't sit in the back. Don't aim for the back space. Yep. Work the front as much as you possibly can.
Build up
angles.
your speed.
Yeah, use your angles and be smart and have a look and study the game and study the court craft and what works for you.
The court craft, I love it. And here's the reserves. A rebound just there. It is going to be a turnover. It's for the 23s. And so 4 minutes to go in our exhibition match. 42-21 lies the score. Reserves out in front. There's a lot of noise happening on the court and a big long bomb over to Connor Lilly. Let's see if he can follow through with the shot. Stepping in. Gets it done.
Yeah, great work from the 23s. Just drawing Andrew Burgess out of the circle and Connor Lilly just sitting at the back, waving his arms around, saying, yep, here, free by myself. And that ball went straight over the top. And that's always what you're looking to do when you're trying to break through that press. If you can't go short and steady, get the ball over the mess.
And he's done that a couple of times just in this quarter. Andrew Burgess will have to lock himself down onto him. Holding at the back there, but has used Will at the front. And just comes off the back of the net, back of that ring.
Yeah, still confident though. That's, young, still in our under-17s. It's nice to see him just want to put the shot up over the pressure of the hands because there's, Simon Cartwright, Andrew Burgess, Dan King in that circle. Everyone's kind of 6'2", 6'3", 6'5". So that's a lot of arms over pressure.
Yeah.
It's not easy.
Definitely, confidence is key. The other players might be doing a little bit more work if you don't sink your shots, though.
Yeah.
It coming back and then going forward again, because you want it to be going forward to your goal circle.
Correct.
And getting that done. But over 2.5 minutes to go, 42-22. So they've just stretched it out to 20 in front here. So they've just had a nice, steady, consistent gain on our 23s.
Yeah, correct. Look, 11 goals this quarter here for the reserves. They've put the ball, the goals on the scoreboard. But the 23s have done their job really in this one. They've scored 8 as well. So look, after that first quarter, we've really kind of stayed in this steady pattern of play where it's been a couple of goals in the quarter two. the reserves, but it's nice to see the 23 step it up and able to do it. In that first quarter, it's just the goals that didn't go through the ring. Realistically, 27% I think we spoke about at the start. So if that had gone up, this game would be a lot closer.
And a bit of a tussle in the circle just there. Still in possession, the under-23s coming across the circle, looking to work it in. Oh, and Jake is going for that ball. He's going to get called back though.
Yeah, look, taking Adam Hugworth's hands away, but great quick hands there and release into Connor Lilly, who's able to not put it through the ring, but chases up his own rebound.
Oh, and again, come on. That's it.
He'll be spewing after that one. No goaler wants to miss the ones under the ring, and he's just lucky he got his own rebound, but at least he went for it too. Look, able to pull the ball in, and that's what you want if you know that it's off. Get up and pull it down.
Yep, keep on going. Don't put that head down. Put it up. Keep looking for the play and opportunity. And that's what I've seen here in our men's exhibition match here today. Lots of energy. It's been very positive.
Yeah, it is positive, and that's what they want. Look, they're 2 months out from being away at their pinnacle national championships as well. So they'll be looking to put as much of the positive efforts in today, or working on the stuff that they're working on throughout their trainings, and making sure that they can put it in for their coaches.
And so just with under a minute to go, Dan, who's been a standout for each team for you?
I think you can't go past Liam Kiley in goal shooter for the reserves. He's been fantastic, along with Jake Dambraskas as well. I think he's got hands to a lot of ball, stopped the drive for the under-23s in hitting the circle edge. In regards to the 23s, I think they've been steady throughout the court. Tristan Coleman's got a lot of hands to ball and taken a few risks. I think that's been fantastic. Connor Lilly's probably been the other one for me in the goal circle. He's taken a lot of responsibility while he's been on the court of actually driving the ball through the front end. So I think they've been the standouts.
Yeah, it's really good to see. Very impressive. They've been training hard. They're going to Altona for another training session tomorrow. Showcasing men's netball. It's been a fantastic game.
What a shot to wrap it up, though, from the super shot zone, but not that there's a super shot for this match, but fantastic to see Will Whiteacre just trust his instincts, put that ball up, and for it to go through at the end after a couple of missed shots throughout the rest of the game.
Yeah, definitely a nice note to finish on just there. So it was the reserves, probably as expected, 43 to our under-23s, 24 up on the board. Such a good match, lots of good vibe building here at Red Energy Arena. Dan, it's been great to have you.
Thank you. Thanks for having me. It's been a fantastic afternoon of netball.
And it's been great to be here in Bendigo for our Bound for Bendigo tour here today, all thanks to the support of the Victorian Government, McCafe and the City of Greater Bendigo. Dan, final words.
Oh, look, hopefully that game was able to showcase a little bit of what men's netball has to offer on a wonderful afternoon for the sport, really. It's great to see the SSN girls here. We're going to mix in with the whole group, and look, I'm really excited for what the rest of the afternoon has to offer as well.
Oh, thanks, Dan, and thanks to Vic Men's Netball as well. Great to be able to showcase. Now, don't go away. Very shortly, we have the Adelaide Thunderbirds playing the Giants at 3 p.m. coming up. We'll catch you then.